Hey guys, welcome back. Tonight we're standing in Independence, Missouri, and it's April 1846. The air smells like wet canvas and livestock. Hundreds of families camped in a sprawling maze of prairie schooners, all waiting for the grass to green up enough to feed their oxen. You can hear children laughing somewhere behind a wagon, a woman arguing with a merchant over the price of bacon, and underneath it all, the constant lowing of cattle. You don't know they're about to walk 2,000 miles. You're here because you've sold your farm back east, or maybe you never had one to begin with. Oregon promises 640 acres of free land, a square mile of possibility. But here's the thing, you probably won't survive this. 1 in 10 won't make it to the other side. Disease doesn't care about your dreams, and the trail doesn't care about your children. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, drop a comment telling me where you're listening from and what time it is there. I love seeing this community stretch across time zones. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together.
The wagon tongue digs into your palms as you help lever it onto the yoke, fitting the heavy wooden beam between 2 oxen who shift and snort in the pre-dawn cold. Your hands are already blistered, and you haven't even left Missouri yet. This prairie schooner, though it'll never touch water, is your entire world now, packed with everything you couldn't bear to leave behind. 600 pounds of flour in double-sacked barrels, 400 pounds of bacon wrapped in canvas, 60 pounds of coffee beans, 200 pounds of lard, a rifle, a spare axle, your grandmother's china wrapped in quilts you'll probably end up selling to lighten the load somewhere past Fort Laramie. The wagon bed is only 4 feet wide and 10 feet long, but it's carrying 2,000 pounds of hope and anxiety. You paid $800 for all of this. Back in Pennsylvania, that was 2 years of wages. Here, on the frontier, it's just the entry fee. The canvas cover glows orange as the sun breaks over the eastern horizon, and around you, 50 other wagons are lurching into motion, forming a loose column that stretches and contracts, like a caterpillar feeling its way forward. You're not alone, thank God for that. But you're not exactly together either. Each family is its own small nation, complete with internal politics, limited resources, and the constant threat of collapse. Your wagon captain is a man named Ezra, who claims he made this journey once before, though nobody can verify that, and honestly, you're not sure it matters. The trail is worn deep into the prairie now, a scar 2,000 miles long, rutted by 100,000 wheels before yours.
You walk. Everyone walks except the sick and the very young. The romantic notion of riding in a covered wagon dies about 15 minutes into the first day, when you realize the suspension is non-existent and every rock feels like a kidney punch. So you walk beside the oxen, steady, plodding creatures whose names you'll learn better than your neighbors within a week. You've named yours Tom and Jerry, which your son thinks is hilarious. He's 7. He doesn't understand yet that one of them will probably die before you reach Oregon, and you'll have to cut the meat off its bones while it's still warm, because you can't afford to waste protein. The pace is slower than you imagined. 15 miles a day if you're lucky, 12 if the trail is muddy, sometimes only 8 if you hit a river crossing or someone's axle snaps. You do the math in your head constantly. 2,000 miles divided by 15 miles per day equals 133 days. But that's only if nothing goes wrong. and things always go wrong. By noon, the sun is a white coin pressed against your eyelids. There's no shade out here, just endless grass rolling toward the horizon in every direction. And the dust kicked up by the wagons ahead coats your throat until you're coughing red. You sip water from a canteen that tastes like warm metal, and try not to think about how many more days of this stretch ahead. The oxen don't complain. They just lean into the yoke, muscles sliding under their hides, tongues lolling. You wonder if they understand what's happening, or if they're just following some deep animal instinct to keep moving.
Lunch is bacon,
Cold from breakfast, and a hard biscuit that could double as a weapon. Your wife jokes about it, says she could kill a man with her cooking now, but you can see the worry creased into the corners of her eyes. She's thinking about the baby. 4 months along, and you're dragging her across a continent. Some nights, you lie awake wondering if you're brave or just stupid. Historians still argue whether the Oregon Trail emigrants were visionaries or gamblers, but you suspect the truth is simpler. They were just desperate. Desperate for land, for a fresh start, for something better than what they were leaving behind. And desperation makes you do wild things, like pack your children into a wooden box on wheels and point it west toward a place you've only heard about in rumors and government pamphlets. By mid-afternoon, a wheel hits a hidden stone, and the whole wagon lurches sideways. You hear something crack. Not the axle, thank God, just a spoke, but it's enough to stop the train for an hour while repairs are made. This is normal. This is the rhythm of the trail. Walk, brake, repair, walk. Your son helps you hammer the spoke back into place, while your daughter entertains the baby with a rag doll that's already losing its stuffing. She's 10, old enough to understand that this journey is dangerous, young enough to still believe you'll make it. Evening comes as a relief, the heat finally breaking as the sun dips toward the grass. The wagon train circles, not a perfect circle, more like a lopsided oval, and you unhitch the oxen, lead them to graze, then help gather fuel for the fire. Out here, wood is a memory. Instead, you're burning buffalo chips, dried dung that lights easily and burns hot, though it smells exactly like you'd expect. Your daughter wrinkles her nose the first time, but by the end of the first week, she'll be gathering it without complaint. The trail has a way of burning off your delicate sensibilities. Dinner is bacon again, fried in a pan over the buffalo chip fire, plus beans that have been soaking in a pot strapped to the side of the wagon all day, churned by the motion into something almost edible. There's coffee too, thick and bitter and absolutely essential. You drink it black because you're rationing the sugar, and it tastes like mud, but it's warm and it's yours. Around the circle, other families are doing the same, frying bacon, boiling beans, nursing coffee, counting their remaining supplies, and trying not to think about how far they still have to go. A fiddle starts up somewhere across the circle. Someone's brought music. It's a jaunty tune, something about a girl and a river, and a few people start clapping along. Your son runs off to play with other children, their laughter bright against the darkening sky. And for just a moment, you let yourself believe this might work, that you might actually make it, that Oregon is real and waiting and worth all of this. Then you hear someone coughing, a wet, rattling sound from 3 wagons down, and the illusion cracks. Disease is the silent traveler on every wagon train, the passenger nobody mentions, but everyone fears. Cholera, dysentery, typhoid. They kill faster than bullets and more efficiently than winter. You make a mental note to keep your family away from that wagon, which is cruel but necessary, and you hate yourself a little for thinking it. The stars come out thick and endless, a river of light spilled across the black. You've never seen stars like this back east, where trees and buildings block the view. Out here, the sky is everything. Vast, indifferent, beautiful. You lie on your back in the grass, your wife's head on your shoulder, and you try to remember why you're doing this. The land, the promise, the future. It has to be enough, because tomorrow you'll wake before dawn and do it all again, and the day after that, and the day after that, for months, until you reach Oregon, or die trying. That's the deal you made when you gripped this wagon tongue and pointed it west. No refunds, no turning back. Just the weight of the wheels and the endless, endless prairie rolling out ahead.
And so, as the fire burns down to embers and the camp settles into the quiet sounds of sleep, canvas flapping gently in the night breeze, an ox shifting its weight, a baby cooing somewhere in the darkness, you close your eyes and let the exhaustion pull you under. Tomorrow the trail continues, winding westward through grass and dust and uncertainty. But tonight, you rest. You've survived one more day. That's enough. That's everything. The wagon train will rise with the sun. The oxen will lean into their yokes again, and the wheels will turn, carrying you mile by mile toward a horizon that never seems to get closer. But you'll keep walking, because that's what pioneers do. They endure, they adapt, they survive. And maybe, just maybe, they make it to the other side. Sleep well, friend. The trail will still be there in the morning, patient and unforgiving, waiting to test you again. But for now, let the rhythm of the journey lull you into dreams of green valleys and promised lands, where the walking finally stops, and the weight of the wheels is just a memory. Rest now. You've earned it. And tomorrow you'll walk again.